Yo, what's going on, everybody? Back for this Monday slate. We have a 6-game baseball slate for today. No NBA games tonight. We witnessed 2 incredible Game 7s yesterday. That Kawhi Leonard shot's going to hurt for a while, but, it wasn't meant to be for the Sixers this season. And McCollum was just on fire for the Blazers in the earlier game, but hope you guys won some money yesterday. Hope you guys enjoyed the games. Spend time with your moms yesterday if they're lucky to be around. But anyway, let's get into the picks for today. We have 6 games. Please like and subscribe before we get started. Starting off at pitcher, I like Shane Bieber a lot at 9,000. He gets an incredible strikeout matchup here against the White Sox that strike out one of the most in the league against right-handed pitching, and Bieber has a ton of strikeout stuff, especially if his slider's on. He can rack up a ton of strikeouts. He also goes very deep into games. He has thrown over 106 pitches in 4 of his starts already. And he's gone at least 6 innings in all of his starts except for 2, where he's gotten kind of rocked. In the first start, he only threw 17 pitches, so he might have been hurt in that one, or I'm not sure what happened there. But so he's gone on to at least 6 innings in all of his starts except for 1 against the Braves, where he got rocked. But he's been very consistent. Lots of 20-point games. He had lots of high 20-point games there as well. At 9,000 and a great strikeout matchup, I'll definitely take advantage of him. And then my second pitcher I like is Brad Peacock at 8,500. So Peacock also gets a great matchup here against the Tigers. The Tigers' offense also strikes out a lot against right-handed pitching. Some of the new guys that they have in there, like Dixon, he strikes out an absolute ton. Top to bottom, that lineup strikes out a lot against right-handed pitching. Over 20% in everybody in the lineup. Peacock has a lot of strikeout upside, as we saw in his last game where he had 12 strikeouts in just 7 innings. And last season, Peacock was a reliever. He had one of the highest strikeout per 9, K per 9 rates in the league. As a starter, that's gone down a bit because you're throwing a lot more pitches than you are as a reliever, obviously. But he still has a solid about strikeout per inning. The last game really helped him out with that K per 9. He doesn't walk a ton, and I think this Tigers offense is not very good. So he can definitely have a great matchup here and is at a good price tag. So I think he has a good chance to get you at least 20 DraftKings points, and I'll definitely take it at that price tag. So going with those 2 guys leaves us with about $4,000 to spend on our bats. Starting off at first base, I like CJ Crone. So I like the twin stack here. I like the Indian stack, and I like the Mariner stack. Those are probably my top 3 stacks today. I like Crone at 4,300. He's been hitting the ball really well as of late with 2 4-hit games in his past 5 days. He hits lefties extremely well. I'll show you guys the numbers for Crone against lefties. He has a ton of power against lefties. And Tyler Skaggs has struggled against righty power for his career. But Crone, this season against lefties, he's hitting .421 in just 19 at-bats with 3 home runs against lefties. That gives him a crazy 526 ISO. And last season, his numbers, if you're looking for a bigger sample size as well, were extremely good against lefties, where he hit over 300 against them, 307 in 150 at-bats, and that gave him a 246 ISO against lefties. So he has a ton of pop to lefties. He's at a good price tag at 4,300, and he's been hitting the ball really well. So I like Crone here. At third base, I like Jose Ramirez. So Ramirez is at 4,300. He's still very cheap, mainly because he hasn't been hitting the ball well at all this season, still hitting under 200. He was over 200 for a couple days, then he went 0 for 6 his last 2 games. So he's back to under 200. But he's going to turn it around soon. I think as soon as the weather starts to get warm is when he's going to start taking off, because coming off an incredible season last year, I would not expect a guy like him at his age to turn into a terrible hitter all of a sudden. He still hasn't been striking out that much. 25 strikeouts and 146 at-bats. That's not a lot at all. He just hasn't been getting lucky with the batted balls. So his BABIP is extremely low. The one thing that you can count on with him is the stolen bases, as he has 10 already. So, if he gets a walk or a single, especially against Lopez, he's going to look to run on him. So that's something you can look at. But he's definitely, the power is going to come. Lopez has been terrible this season. He's been good in a couple starts, but Lopez gives up a ton of power, gives up a ton of fly balls. especially to lefties. And as a switch hitter, Ramirez will battle Lopez from the left side of the plate, but Lopez is just not very good. He's given up 9 home runs already on the season. He does have some strikeout upside, but I will still take some of the Indian bats against him instead of taking a chance on him with his 6.38 ERA. So I like Ramirez at 4,300. I think he's still underpriced, obviously, for the amount of talent he has, but it's about time that he starts hitting. So I like him at that price tag. In the outfield, I like Jay Bruce a lot. So I like the Mariners stack against Fiers. I think they will be lower owned because Fiers coming off of a no-hitter. But we know Fiers, he's been around this league for a long time, that we know that he has his ups and downs, a lot of downs more than ups. And he gives up a ton of home runs. Last season, he led the league in home runs, or was at the top 3. And this season as well, he struggled with the long ball. Has an extremely high fly ball rate. Pitching in Seattle, the Mariners offense is still extremely powerful. They have a lot of home runs in the lineup with Bruce, Santana, Vogelbach, Encarnacion, Haniger. There's just a lot of guys that can hit the ball out of the ballpark. Jay Bruce has 12 home runs in his 24 hits this year. That's absolutely insane. He has 24 hits, and half of them have been home runs, and 6 of the 24 were doubles, so he only has hit 6 singles. So if you're looking for a guy that can hit it out of the ballpark, he's definitely the guy. If you're looking for a guy that will give you extra bases, Bruce definitely has that upside here. He also strikes out a lot with 43 strikeouts. But against right-handed pitching, his strikeouts are lower. And the BABIP is going to go up with him. He's going to be hitting a lot higher. I mean, he can't hit much worse than 188, given that he is hitting the ball in play a lot of the time. Just hasn't been getting super lucky, and I don't expect him to strike out very much here against Fiers. So I like Bruce at 4,400. And then I like Marwin Gonzalez. So Gonzalez is just at 3,300. He's extremely cheap, and he's been hitting the ball well. He's on a 5-game hitting streak, has 2 hits each in the last 2 games. He has, he's starting to show his power a little bit. And last season, he's just been going to be a much better hitter. Like, his batting average is slowly climbing. He started the season at 170. A couple weeks ago, he was at 169 or 170. He's up to 231. And he does hit lefties really well. So a much better hitter against lefties than righties is Marwin Gonzalez. And we know the Twins offense, they don't strike out very much, and they have one of the higher totals on the board. So I want to attack some of them, and Gonzalez is just way too cheap at just $3,300. You can also play him at first base too. But this season against lefties, he's hitting 20 points higher than his numbers against righties. And last season, for a bigger sample size with 165 at-bats, he hit 273 against lefties. And he had 5 home runs. So he had a little more power to lefties. They gave him about a 164 ISO and a 436 slugging. So, Marwin Gonzalez starting to hit the ball a little better, and he's just extremely cheap. So I like him. So those are the picks I like for today, going with Bieber, Peacock, Crone, Ramirez, Bruce, and Gonzalez. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Drop a like if you did. Thanks for watching, and good luck today.